Well, that big breaking news now coming in. 197 Communications Limited has now informed that the Paytm's Payment Bank Limited has essentially reconstituted its board, which means that Vijay Shekhar Sharma, who was at the helm of affairs as far as the Paytm Payments Bank is concerned, he's now stepped down. The board has been reconstituted. In fact, a statement has just been put out by 197 Communications. Remember, that happens to be the parent firm of Paytm Payments Bank, the former Central Bank of India chairman. In fact, a retired IS officer, two retired IS officers and the former executive director of Bank of Baroda have now joined the board of directors of Paytm Payments Bank. This comes at a time, remember, the circular that was issued by the RBI, there was a massive crackdown as far as the operations of Paytm Payments Bank are concerned. We'll take you through some of the details that are coming in, but just remember a quick recap of what's happened over the last few days and the directives that have essentially been given. Now, it was RBI which essentially suggested that the National Payments Corporation of India to consider Paytm's proposal. Paytm has now said that a platform for peer-to-peer payments is exactly what they would be doing. Just to simplify this for you viewers, remember Paytm Payments Bank that was also operating and getting consumers on board. RBI essentially indicated that there were malpractices pertaining to KYC. And the very fact that they would not be able to bring in new customers on board, and starting from 29th of February, they would essentially operate more as a UPI transaction platform. Let me also quickly go across to our business editor and my colleague Saqib, who's joining us from the Bharat newsroom, getting us the latest details. Now, this comes across as a big news, keeping in mind that we'll try and reconnect with Sharbila in a short while from now. But before we do that, I'll just quickly take you through some of the developments and the statement that has been issued by 197 Communications. In fact, they say that Vijay Shekhar Sharma has also resigned from the board of Paytm Payments Bank to enable the transition. Now, the transition that we're essentially talking about, Saqib, here is that there is a new board that has been brought in. There is a proposal that has been given by the Paytm, which the RBI has essentially indicated that perhaps it could be taken into consideration. Does this also mean that somewhere down the line, Paytm has made an admission to the fact that they will have to bring about the much needed changes that were already suggested in the past by RBI?
This development comes on a day when Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman held a meeting with all the top heads of fintechs across the country. They did come down to Delhi and have a meeting with the Finance Minister. Vijay Shekhar Sharma stepping down on a day when the Finance Minister met the top fintech heads conveys a strong message in itself. The government has come down hard on the fragile fintech ecosystem of the country. There is every possibility that Paytm would be asked to walk the talk. Every time Paytm has been asked to follow RBI regulation, there has been allegations that Paytm has not cooperated. One would have to wait and watch. A day after Vijay Shekhar Sharma's exit from the board and him stepping down, how does the regulatory framework shape up? Tomorrow, there'll be an important RBI statement. In fact, we're expecting that anytime today or tomorrow. Soon after the RBI statement, which is keeping the fintech industry on tenterhooks. Everybody wants to know what really transpired in that meeting between the finance minister and the fintech heads. The sort of, if I may just run you through the sort of violations that Paytm has been accused of in the Paytm Payments Bank Limited, is essentially that, you know, the third party adversaries, the TPAs, they onboarded thousands of people, thousands of customers without verifying them, without doing the due diligence. Now, this one is a serious allegation at a time we are witnessing an expansion of UPI to rest of the countries, to the neighboring countries. Government has sounded a note of caution time and again. Paytm was given time. Now its top boss stepping down in itself is a strong signal that has gone to the entire Paytm industry. Now I'm joined by Rajat Mishra, who is an assistant business editor at Republic Business and has been tracking the economy and the corporate side of the story. Rajat, on a day when Paytm's parent company, 197 Communications, in a filing to the regulators and the market regulators, has clearly said that Vijay Shekhar Sharma has stepped down. I may tell our viewers that Vijay Shekhar Sharma stepping down has paved way for two senior former PSU bank heads. So is the message from government loud and clear that we mean business when it comes to the financial economy of the country, which has been a lot of focus? Rajat, how do you really divulge the fact that two senior PSU banks heads have been brought in, and they will constitute Paytm's board of directors? What is that message from the government, from the finance ministry?
See, one thing that was very... to stay on.
Sharma, as far as Paytm Payment Bank was concerned. So basically this ouster, basically the constitution of a new board means that he has completely stepped back from the Paytm Payment Bank business, which was a long impending demand of the RBI also, because one of the allegations on the violation of the regulatory laws was that there were a lot of intervention of the CEO as far as Paytm Bank is concerned. And when you are in the business of banking, the fundamental premise that RBI has set is that the founder, CEO, and the entire business should work in the silos. There should not be any intervention from the side of the CEO or from the various companies. So that is the one thing. So the constitution of a new board and some people or the CEOs from the PSUs who have joined on the newly constituted board shows that there is a signal that is being tried to send that Paytm CEO is stepping back from whatever has happened and what the RBI was saying, that the constant intervention of CEO from the company side.
Now that we have a new board in place and Vijay Shekhar Sharma has stepped down, we have received a lot of viewer queries on what happens to Paytm. What happens to the fate of Paytm? What happens to Paytm?
Well,
I would like to get a sense from Rajat.
Stay on, Saqib, as you get us more details. Kishore, Saqib, hold on for a minute. We have Kishore Subramaniam, who's also joining us on this broadcast. Kishore, as an investment analyst, the message that has been sent out by the RBI is that you no longer can continue operating by violating the rules. And the fact of the matter is that the GST as well as Enforcement Directorate, they were basically they had flagged off the fact that there were massive violations in terms of KYC. There were massive violations in terms of documentation that was supposed to be done. And now the message is very clear. Either you shape up or you're out of business.
So good evening to all panelists. But let me tell you one thing very important, that this RBI clampdown is very, very serious. And it's a message to all fintech companies that please get your act correct. You're dealing with third-party money. This is not a joke. This is public funds. You ought to be extremely careful. And India's darling in terms of the fintech, the first of its kind, which revolutionized payment as far as the common man was concerned, right from a 1 rupee kirana store to probably thousands and lakhs of rupees, have today gone into a mode where RBI has to use its iron hand and tell them that you please clean up your act. And what's more important to understand here is that there is no soft approach. And let me also tell people who generally think that, there is a bias, this is a government-sponsored stuff, there is nothing like that. RBI is an independent regulator. As an apex bank, it's done its duty best in ensuring that the clampdown is hard, severe, strict. And look at what has happened. The person, Vijay Shekhar Sharma, however nice a human being he might be, I believe when you violate the norms and do not play by the book, this is exactly what happens. And I think it's a perfect example of saving the common man's money.